All right, I'm on. Let's see here. I've got, in case you're new here, my name is Mike Caton from Ace Method Coaching. Do a lot of instruction for sprinting and hurdling. A whole lot of emphasis on hurdling and more specifically hurdling technique. I coach athletes, hurdlers of all levels from all around the world, literally, and I shouldn't say literally, but many countries, opposite end of the world. And but I get a lot of people that want me to help them with their technique. I have a subscription called the Ace Coaching subscription and the Ace Hurdling subscription. And that's my priority, to help all these athletes and coaches who want me to look at their videos on a regular basis. I also have a Hurdling 101 instructional video and some hurdle training plans. But I also get a lot of free requests to answer questions and or look at videos. So what I do is I collect them all, and a couple times a week I do them as a live stream, because what I have learned is that a lot of people who follow me want to learn more about technique. So this is a good way for them to be able to see what I do and learn from this. So today I have 9 athletes who have sent me videos, and I'm going to look at them. So let me see here. I am going to jump into here, and I'm going to start with this person here, whose name I can't really pronounce. Chaehwan. Chewan. That's going to be my guess. Okay. I don't know anything about him, but let's see what we have here. Okay. Since it's not really, doesn't appear to be official spacing anyway, I'm going to start right here. Okay. So, I've been asked this question before. What do I think about hurdling in the grass? I like it a lot as a way, for a couple of reasons, but not all the time, obviously. I like it when you're learning, because obviously if you fall, it's going to be softer. I also like it on easy days, or days that you're not working on full speed, or any segment of a day when you're not working on full speed and you want to have less impact on the ground. But it definitely has its weaknesses in that it's soft and it's spongy, so you lose a lot of the pushback against the track that's going to help you be super fast. So you'd never be able to go full speed on it. So just keep that in mind. So it looks like you are working on your distance hurdles or your long hurdles. So this is a great way to do it. So that was a right leg. That was another right leg. Another right leg. So I like, whenever you do these random spacings, to use it as an opportunity to work on both legs, but you didn't ask me that. So let me see what I got here. Okay, I can tell you that what I see here, one second. Okay, what I see here is stepping. It doesn't look like you're running full speed, but maybe you're just learning. So I'm going to just approach it that way. So overall, I like the lead leg, the way it's underneath your butt there, then it unfurls right at the end. But if you notice, this is as high as your knee needs to go to get over that hurdle. But if we watch yours, it just keeps rising till about right here. So you've already put yourself in a position of jumping up. And then so you're gonna end up too high over the hurdle. So here we can see that. I'd say that's at least 8 to 10 inches. The problem with that is now you got to deal with gravity pulling you down, and then you're going to usually have a bit of a collapsed body. You can see your center of mass drop here, and then also being in the air is slow. because you don't have any propulsion. Plus, your body has to over-rotate. See how your shoulders are twisted here? That's because you gave your body too much time coming off of the hurdle or descending the hurdle, so now it had to do that. But other than that, the running looks fine. Okay, I'm not a fan of taking a big step that plants yourself in front of your center of mass going as you go over the hurdle. People have heard me say this a million times. This kind of reminds me of a pole and a pole vault that you stick into the ground, and that's when a person wants to go high. So it's going to help you go up, right? So, and then see how high you are. On the good side, though, you reached your peak on this side of the hurdle. Now you're coming down on the hurdle, so that's good. Overall, I would say you are on the right track. Certainly for 300, 400 meter hurdler, you're on the right track. So now what you want to do is just gain more confidence. Stop jumping up. Start leaping forward through the hurdle so you don't get as high, and you'll do just fine. Okay? All right, that was easy. Moving on to Ivy. This looks like a high quality video. Okay, let me back up a little bit because I like capturing some of the run up, at least some of the run up, as much as possible. So good job, Ivy, on managing to get a side view that shows some running up to it and also a good, clear, high quality shot. Okay, so one thing that's interesting about this, I don't know if you're working on the 100 meter hurdles or the 300 or 400 meter hurdles. But some ways it shouldn't matter, but it does matter when I look at your stride. On a 400, 300 meter hurdler, I'm going to say you're doing the 100, because normally, like if she would be touching down right now and you see that she had a lot of backside heel recovery because I see a big space between her knee, that would be great for the distance or long hurdles, but not great for the 100 meter hurdles. But notice that when her foot does touch down, her other knee is caught up. So that's indicative of good sprint running. So I'm going to assume that Ivy, oh, we do have some gap there, so that's interesting. And then getting ready to go over the hurdle. It's a little bit farther in front of you than I would like, but let's go from there. So this is a great video. Okay, so what I like, the heel tucked up into the butt. Looking good, looking good, looking good. Okay, a lot of good stuff here, okay? So I love the straight leg here. That means she really pushed off hard against the ground on this plant leg. Good extension. The knee isn't going too high, but I'm already seeing that she's got a straightened out trail arm, and her lead arm looks to be across her face, which means it's going over the other side of the body. And then also you can see at least slightly that her hip is rotated in, which means that her foot goes out towards the grass versus just swinging it straight. But it might not be too bad. I just can't tell from this. Oh, not bad. Okay, what I'm looking at right now is the height of the knee. So here we are into it, still really good extension. The knee is not too high over that hurdle, but let's see if it goes up anymore. Unfortunately, it does. So Ivy, if you would have just driven a little more of your knee right to the top of that hurdle, which would really put your knee about right here instead of up here, it would have kept you low over that hurdle. God, this is great quality video. Thank you, Ivy, for sending this. But look at what your arms did. That is different. You know, you got both arms down almost straight as you go over the hurdle, okay? But let's continue. Okay, so you got your arm straight, which isn't good. At this point, you should have this arm out, this arm back bent at 90 degrees, this arm kind of bent at 90 degrees too. But right here where you've reached the apex of your jump, the height of your jump, and now you're going to start coming down. So it is good that you reached it on this side of the hurdle, right, as you're ascending. And now you're going to come down on the hurdle. But I have to say that your trail leg is too far behind you at this point. You should have it pulled through, oh, let's say 4 to 6 inches to where it's parallel to the hurdle or perpendicular to the hurdle, which when I was raving about your extension here, like this would be good here, but at this point right here, I should see your knee bent slightly as you pull that knee forward, and that would have improved the timing, right, as you went over that hurdle. But okay, so things that are good: that you reached the height here, that you came down on the hurdle. Things that could have been better: you could have not been so high. Things that could have been better: not straight arms, have that knee pulled forward, and now as you come off, basically their arms are all wrong. Okay, this arm should now be, I'm sorry, the other arm should be coming through forward. This arm should have come back right past your, so your hand would have almost scraped your knee, but it didn't. But your knee, this is good position of your leg, and then it's parallel to the ground. And then it didn't rise up, it's just going forward, 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 forward. That is not bad landing, other than the arms. Let's see what else we got. Oh, but then you lost all your energy, Ivy. You just let your trail leg just drop to the ground. Watch this, right? And what you wanted is to come off this leg right here, pushing really hard as your next step to the next hurdle, and this knee should have still been up here driving hard, right? It should have looked kind of like the way you looked right here. You should have looked also over here driving to the next hurdle, but you lost all that energy right into the ground, right? So that's what I'm saying here. You got a lot of good stuff. And I am probably going to, just because of the quality of this video, I'm going to use it in something. I just know I am. Okay, thanks for sending it. Okay, I hope that helped. All right, moving on to Anthony. Okay, what do I know about Anthony? He's a junior in high school. He's running on the inside lane, and he runs a 15.6. Let's see what happens. Oh, you gotta give me a lot of lead up. Let me speed it up here. Come on, Anthony. Okay. Make this adjustment. Excuse me. Okay. Okay, Anthony. Pretty good, pretty good. I mean, a 15.6 is nothing to sneeze at. That's really good. Okay, so let's see what we can learn here. Like when I watched you at full speed, I mean, it definitely looks like your trail leg is a little delayed in coming through, just slightly, right? Let me break it down. Let me see here. I think I'll see something good. The problem is as you get in front of the hurdle, in front of the camera, we lose some. Well, actually, that's not bad. Let me just look at this one. Let me see. Okay, this will work. Okay, so here we go. All right, so first thing I'm looking at is that lead leg. And if you've been watching my videos, you know I like that heel to be tucked up into the butt, but you're kind of lifting a semi-straight leg, right? So first thing you want to do is work on some lead leg drills, practice keeping that heel tucked up as long as you can till like to right here, and then unfurl it over that hurdle. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at your leg here. Okay, see how your knees bent? Could stand and let's just see more push off of that ground. Get a big commitment of this leg, because that's where the power comes from to put you over that hurdle fast, right? Then you lean into it. Your arms are looking really good. Got good bend in both of them. Your lean is good over that hurdle. Your height from, at least from here, looks pretty good, certainly compared to your competitor here. Okay, so what I would suggest here, because you have a lot good going on, but so right here, see how you're still sitting way back, like you're still going over the hurdle or getting to sit in a chair. Your knee looks good. It is a little behind where I'd like it to be at this point, and certainly here, when you're like already forward from your leg underneath you, your trail leg hasn't made it all the way around yet. So I was right in watching you full speed thinking that your trail leg was a little delayed. It's interesting because normally when a person doesn't fully push off of their plant leg enough, they end up with their trail leg too far forward, but yours is too far back, which tells me you're just being overall just kind of passive with that leg, when really you want to plant it, you want to push hard and then pull it through really fast, because your trail leg is the engine, it's the motor that gets you up and over that hurdle, and it's the first step to the next hurdle. So put more into that, right? So I already talked about working on your lead leg, but you also need to work on your trail leg. But also when you come off that hurdle, you, at least this point when your foot is flat up against down on the ground, your hip should be right on top of your foot, but yours is still way back here. So as you're coming off that hurdle, as you're descending that hurdle, pull your hips forward. That'll help drop your lead leg down faster, and you'll be up and running faster. Okay? That's the main thing for you. I think you will easily get into the very low 15s, and you could crack the 15s if you make those changes. Okay? All right, moving on to Jolene. What do I know about Jolene? A lot. Thanks for sending it. Sophomore, first year hurdler, so didn't start as a freshman. Loves it. Does not have a coach at their school. PR so far is a 19.86 and lane 2. Okay, let's see what you got, Jolene. Let me see if I can help you be your coach. That's why I started Ace Method Coaching, because there's not enough hurdle coaches out there. Come on, come on. Okay, let me get this to here. Okay. It's a little bit grainy video. Let me see if I can figure out your steps first. I think that was left leg. Let me do that again. Left leg, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Left leg, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so you're 5-stepping. Okay. So, in case you haven't heard it, I'm not a fan of 5-stepping. Okay? Here's the reason why. 5 steps mean tiny baby steps. That is not fast. 5 steps puts you too close to the hurdle. Being too close to the hurdle forces you to go too steep on the hurdle, which makes you too high on the hurdle. And the more higher you are on the hurdle, the more time you spend in the air, the slower you're going to be. So it's it's a negative cycle, right? That you never build up your speed to go over the hurdle properly. So it's just a bunch of slow baby steps and then a jump and a land, and slow baby steps and a jump and a land. So stop that. So your choices are either to learn to four-step, which means you're going to have to alternate legs, or three-step, which means you just got to run, have confidence, and go full speed, right? Because when a person five steps and they do this, like I could give you, like I could look at it, for example, and say, oh, your leg's not, extended enough, and your arms are wrong, and you're too high, and this and that. But the problem is because you jumped up really high. As soon as you hurdle properly, it's going to change everything about your form, and it makes all this obsolete. And it really won't make you that much faster, because even if I tell you to switch your arm a little bit, lean a little bit more, but you're still taking 5 tiny steps between the hurdle, I mean, I don't know that I could even make you any faster. But the thing that I can do that significantly make you faster, to have you hurdling in the 17-second range instead of the high 19-second range, is to get you to four-step or three-step. Okay, so that's what I'm going to focus on. Why deal with the petty little milliseconds when I can knock 2 seconds off your time? So what I recommend you do, if you haven't already done it, is go into my YouTube channel, look at the video about four-stepping and the other video about three-stepping, and study those and learn from the methods that I have in there. I'm not going to get into this too much about pulling in the hurdles closer, getting used to the rhythm, get better at it, and gradually spread the hurdles back out. That's what I would do if I were your coach. I don't let anybody five-step into meet, because all they're doing is teaching themselves bad habits that I'm going to have to take a bunch of time to retrain. Okay, so anyway, hope that helped. So that's it. Okay, moving on to another person whose name I don't know how to pronounce. It's either Olamide or Olimide. Okay, so let's check you out. Whoa, let me see that for a second. Wait. For those of you who haven't figured this out, I like to make it a personal challenge that I go into these live streams having never seen your videos. So it is me literally on the spot, live, trying to figure things out. I guess I could have done it all in advance and been real polished, but I think it's a fun challenge. All right, so first thing I want to do, well, let me just say this. Let me go to full speed. I'm going to look at your speed. Okay, so what I see here is a tall guy who's taking tiny steps. And let me count those tiny steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Or it might even have been a little skip in there for 10. Sorry, everybody, I gotta know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, 9. Okay, first off, what this tells me is, because you took more steps than you need, that you must prefer leading with your right leg. Okay, so that's the first thing that I want to know. And then you also go this next hurdle with your right leg. So again, I'm feeling pretty good about that. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then jumped. Okay, so I'm going to call you Olimide. Okay, I'm hoping that I'm saying that right. Okay, Olimide. So, first off, in hurdling, you have to go full speed. Okay, it's a sprinting event. And then you want to take fast, good sprinting strides. And then when you go over that hurdle, it is just an exaggerated running step. The good thing is, you look pretty tall to me. Okay? And what's interesting about this is you are taking more steps than even little girls take going up to the hurdle. You only need to take 8 steps, right? But you're taking 9. So switch your legs in the blocks, put your left leg forward so that you can take 8 better steps and then clear this hurdle properly, okay? And then the other thing, okay, so I can see that your next hurdle is actually on the mark, which means you have them on the official spacing. And I never teach a new hurdler who doesn't know how to hurdle to all of a sudden go over full spacing hurdles. Because this is a perfect example of why I would never do this, because you're taking a person who, to me, looks like they've got ability and has the potential to be a good hurdler, but now you're teaching them how to hurdle improperly with fear and tiny steps and getting too close to the hurdle and jumping too high and doing it all wrong, and then you got to retrain them how to do it properly. So here's what I would do, because just like I told Jalene, there's no point in me correcting little details about your form just to fix fractions of a second when I can make you way better with just a couple of big suggestions. So here's what I would do. I would leave this hurdle right where it is. I would even lower it. Right? I'd probably even turn it upside down and make it really low. And I would practice taking 8 steps and flying over that hurdle. And I mean flying full speed, right? And then when you come off that hurdle, continue your full speed and run full speed. 1, 2, 3, and then jump again. And then right here where you hit your 3rd step, I would count about, let's say, 6 feet from there, and I would put the next hurdle. Then I would measure this distance from here to here, and then whatever that distance is, put my third hurdle and my 4th hurdle, and I would practice flying over those with 3 steps fast. Probably after your first time, you're going to realize, whoa, these are too close. By the way, everything I'm talking about is detailed in my Hurdle 101, okay? But then you spread them out about a foot, and then you do it again. You spread them out another foot, and then you do it again until you find what is the spacing that works for me, meaning for you, where you can 3-step this really good. And you also gradually move these hurdles up, let's say to 33 inches for a learner, a beginner, and to where you could 3-step. And I will bet you, somebody who looks like you, nice and tall, and you look athletic to me, you could probably get really close to regular spacing if you learned it properly. Now, okay, and then once you're about a foot shy of the official spacing, you're ready to race. You even have tennis shoes on, right? So you got a lot in there, and you shouldn't be hurdling the way you are. I hope that makes sense. I also talk about this in a couple of my coaching videos, the one about coaching 100-meter hurdlers, and then also coaching beginners, and in my 3-step video, all that. But details are really good in my Hurdling 101 video. Okay, so that's the best advice that I could give you. And I don't always like to, honestly, a lot of people want to keep sending me videos, you know, which I would love to do, but the problem is I'm pretty busy. I'm pretty busy with my subscription and making YouTube videos and then doing these free videos to do these. So even though I would love to coach all the hurdlers who keep sending me videos, there's just not enough hours in the day. So, but every now and then I see somebody like Olimide, who I would love to see what you look like when you take my advice. So send me another video back, please. Okay, moving on to Campbell. Campbell, spelled with a K. Campbell is in. He's a sophomore who already went through my hurdling 101. So great job, Campbell. Blue uniform with white compression shorts. I forgot what the notes say. Something about long strides. I think I'll figure it out. Blue uniform, white compression shorts. Okay. Oh, let me speed this up. Come on, Campbell. I can't see any of that anyway. Okay, so I'm going to pull my slider. Wait. Okay. All right, here we go. So I'm thinking that's you in the front, winning the race. Okay, yes, definitely. Okay, all right. So it's hard to see anything until about right here. So let's use that as our starting point. So let me keep it full speed. Okay, so the good news is my hurdling 101 took you from an absolute beginner to proficient. Now, I never promised that my hurdling 101 was going to lead anybody to being a district or state champion. I just said it would take you from beginner to proficient, which Campbell definitely is proficient. You can see him winning his heat, and he is able to three-step the entire race. But now, Campbell, it's time to go into 201. I used to have a 201, but I don't have it anymore because all that stuff I talked about in 201 is now in my YouTube coaching series. Okay, there's a little clue for a bunch of people. Okay, so let's see how to make you better than proficient, and let's take you to really good, Campbell. Okay, so what it looks like to me is that you look close to that hurdle. Also, as you lift that lead leg, it's too open. It's only about 90% bent. And as you should know from 101, your heel should be tucked up under your butt. So what I recommend for everybody, even if you're a collegiate athlete, if you got something that needs to be fixed, I say, well, let's isolate that one thing, which in your case is the lead leg, go back to the drawing board, work on wall drill with your lead leg, heel tucked up. And once you master the wall drill with no arms, then you add the arms. Once you got that down, then you go to, probably in your case, go to hurdles and walk over the hurdle with perfect lead leg drill, no arms, then you do a skipping drill, then a jogging drill, then a running drill, as you progress to speed so you get better at that. But that needs to improve. So farther away, keep in mind, you can only go farther away if you're running faster, right? So run faster, stay lower, keep your heel tucked up. Okay, you're high over that hurdle. Your lead arm, instead of just pulling your elbow back, you swung your whole arm back. And you see how your shoulders twist up? That's because you were too high. It's possible it was your lead leg, but I don't think so in this case. I think it's the fact that you're having to wait too long to finally hit the ground, that it just gave your shoulders time to rotate too far, okay? Also, look at all the heel running you're doing. Landing on your heel, with big gap here, big backside recovery, big landing on the heel, too much space here, and then jumping up. I can see the angle. It should be a steeper angle that puts you driving this knee to the top of that hurdle. Your arms are out straight. You are coming down on the hurdle, so that's good. There's a whole lot good. I mean, you obviously you have the basics down, right? You just need to get better. So those are what I would focus on. I would start with the running. I would practice running on your toes, running full speed. Now, if you're, again, like I've said to a bunch of people, and you saw in my Hurdling 101, in practice, you still want to have those hurdles close so you could practice doing it properly, okay, on your toes. And then pretty soon you won't need to run on your heels anymore. And then improve that lead leg, improve those arms. Your trail leg looks really good, so that's good. That's what I would do. Drive that knee right to the top of that hurdle and no higher, okay? So looking good. I hope that helped. All right, moving on to Alda. I'm intrigued by this one even though I haven't seen the video. I say that because Alda is a D2 college hurdler who's been hurdling since the 7th grade. I didn't do the math on that, but that would be 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 9 years of hurdling, okay? So thank you for trusting me, Alda. She has a theory that she's got some issues that are related to her left arm needing some work, which I'm curious because that just seems like not likely. But I can't wait to see it, and this is really good quality video. I'm going to watch it in full speed first. Here we go. Watch it a few times. Okay. Okay, know what I know what just jumps out at me as not, what I don't know is what your times are. Oh, actually, you did tell me your times. Darn it. I forgot what it was. I think a high 14 maybe, or a low 15. But anyway, this is what I'll tell you what, I'm going to just say, this is what when I watch you, in fact, I'm going to pull it back just because people seem to be enjoying learning, or I wonder if some people compare what they think and then see what I'm going to say and go from there. But here's what I'm thinking. I think that your trail leg doesn't look like it's moving powerfully enough, right? So it just kind of goes over a little bit too passively. And if you heard me earlier on talking about somebody, the trail leg is the engine, it's the motor. It is what has all of your speed over that hurdle. So it's the plant leg that you step off of, that you drive off of, and it whips around and it comes down really powerfully to be your first powerful step to the next hurdle. So when I see somebody look like, watch this, now look at your trail leg. It just sort of drops with not a lot of intensity, and I don't see it like what I want to see is when a person, I'm going to go back and watch more, but when a person hits here, like right here, it should feel like that your knee wants to pull your hip out of your hip socket because it's trying so hard to go forward, right? And I don't see that when I watch you. You see what I mean? It's like the motion is good motion. If I were to watch a slow motion, in fact, I almost questioned myself, like, it actually looks pretty good. But it's subtle. But trust me, this is what I do. I watch videos of people every every day for hours. And so after a while, you just, it's like a doctor who can look at a spot and go, oh, that's cancerous, that's not. I could look at hurdling and just know things, okay? So let me break it down. But keep in mind, that's what I think your main issue is. Okay, so now let me go, I'm just gonna go super slow. I like the start, I like that, I like that. So new beginners, look at the way she's 4 steps into the race and she didn't even look up at the hurdle, which I will tell you, I like that a lot. It's not necessary, because if you look in the Olympics, a lot of these people are looking at the hurdle right in their first step out or second step. But I think when you should dial it in to where you don't need to. She's just now starting to kind of look up at where that hurdle is, but she's done this so many times that she knows how to do this. Okay, by the way, this is such a good video. I'm probably going to use it for something down the road to teach something, because it's really good. Okay, so very powerful. Okay, here's something else. All done. Okay, so notice this. Notice that this step here, which is your 6th step, if I'm not mistaken, is striking under your center of mass. Then this one here, you sort of like put on the brakes. Now you are landing on your heel and it's out in front of you. This step is not as good as this step. This is full speed. This is slowing down a little bit, trying to gain control. Okay? This is what I would work on. Well, one of the things I'd work on. And then let's look at what this step is. Okay, not bad. At least it wasn't a heel step. Okay, I agree. What were you saying? Your left arm. Okay, so we are in agreement. You do have issues with your left arm. And the issue is that you didn't just pull it back. You swung it around to the back, which I don't know why you're doing that. That basically, when you go over that hurdle, you just want it to be an extended running stride. So everything is still going back and forth. You should have no circular motions, okay? Because you would never run full speed like this. So you wouldn't want to hurdle like this either. It's unfortunate that you got to swing your trail leg around. So that means you have to swing your lead arm back. But other than that, everything should go in the forward backwards plane. I don't know, sagittal plane, I don't know what plane that is. Anyway, so pull that back. You're also too high. Okay, so this is what I'm thinking. I think, and you're a junior in high school, you've been doing this for 9 years, you are super committed, so I say that you need to break some unconscious, subconscious fear that you have of going full speed over a hurdle, thinking you're going to hit it, because you're doing a couple things that are for safety, but they're hurting your speed. One is that step there, and the other is, even though you're on your toes, I still think it's a little bit in front of you, and then you're going a little bit too up. And you just want to, your knee doesn't need to go any higher than this, but you do another click or two up, and you end up too high, okay? And then you got that trail arm issue. Okay, so now, here's what I was originally saying about the trail leg, which I think is the main thing. You know what? Now that I think about it, it all ties together. So I'm going to play sports psychologist. I think that you have some fears in here about going full speed, so you like to bring yourself under control, and so you also do that, I can tell, because look at this leg. When you're on your toe, this leg should be straight. Like you should have pushed so hard towards this hurdle with this knee driving to the top of this hurdle that it should be fully straightened, but it doesn't. You just sort of like run off of it, right? And then it just kind of comes here and drops. When what I want to see is right, okay, in the perfect scenario, I would try to get in your head and say, no slowing, no braking here, no braking here, plant here and push as hard as you can with your knee to the top of this hurdle, go low over it, trust that your 9 years of practicing since you were in the 7th grade is going to make your trail leg go over this properly and your lead leg go over this properly, and you're not going to hit it. Like, believe, right? And then hit that hurdle low, and then again you push super hard off this leg, and then you pull it through as fast as you can, and then when this leg hits the ground, it is continuing on to this powerful step, bam, right to the next hurdle. And I think you will come off this hurdle faster than you've ever done before. And here's another thing that's going to happen. Because you come off the hurdle faster, you're not going to, like, this is a good step, pretty good step. This is an elongated stride. It's very possible that if you hit this hurdle faster, you won't need that long stretched out stride because you'll just have more speed. And let's see what happens here. See, look, see the leg? It's just, it doesn't look like it was like your life depended into driving that knee into that hurdle. And you're too high again, okay? See if we can see that. Yeah, and then, so let's look at that lead arm that you were talking about. No, I'm sorry, the trail arm. You pulled it back, you swung it around to the side, and then it went straight behind you here, and it should be bent. I should see your elbow right here and your hand about right here, okay? So yes, you have a left arm issue, but the bigger thing is everything I just talked about. Okay, so good job. Thanks for trusting me. Well, we'll see if you trust me. At least you trust me to send me your video. I'd love to hear what you think all done. Okay, that was fun. Okay, Julian. 2 more. This is going well. Okay, Julian, lane 4. I don't know anything about Julian, except that's a beautiful track. So 1, 2, 3, 4, white jersey. So these are your teammates here, the Panthers. Okay, cheering for Julian. Okay, Julian. Whoa. Looks funny after what we just watched. Okay, that's cool that you're beating everybody. That's cool. This is a beautiful stadium. Holy smokes. You guys look so young. Okay, so. Okay, Julian, so. Okay, so let's check this out. I mean, number one, you are running and jumping, okay? So you're running, and then you jump over the hurdle and run and jump, 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 all the way down, run and jump, okay? So it's not really hurdling. I don't mean that to be mean. It's running and jumping. You're just, unfortunately, all your competitors are also running and jumping. You're just doing it faster than them. CUSD. Let me know where you're from. Okay, so here's what I also noticed, that you took So I think you took like 5 steps to the second hurdle, and then you were like, oh, I can do this in less. You did it in 4 steps, and then you said, I can do this in even less, and you took it in 3 steps, and then you 3-stepped all the way around the track. So it's kind of like hurdling. But let's just look at how high you are. So this looks like long jumping. This is like when you jump off. I'm not making fun of you, but this is I'm driving home a point that this is jumping, because this is the way a person comes when there's sand here and you want to jump here. Okay, so here's what I want you to do, because obviously you have some potential. I mean, you crushed the competition and you figured out how to three-step all in the middle of a race. I doubt anybody even showed you how to race. And you just said, I'll do this, and you're already figuring it out. So here's what you want to do. Obviously, you like leading with your left leg. So plant your right leg and then stretch out, like stretch, drive to the top of that hurdle with this knee. Try not to bring it higher than this hurdle. And then lean into it. You got your arms right, but you need to be leaning. Try to stay lower. And then therefore you wouldn't be as high. And you are probably 2 feet higher than that hurdle. Okay? So you are probably 5 feet up in the air at this point, meaning your hips are 5 feet up in the air. So now you have to wait for to drop down, and then gravity pulls you down. Boom, right? You have no speed here. Both of your knees are collapsed, right? So just try to stay low. Just try to drive straight over this hurdle. Don't pull your left leg through so soon. Try to keep your arms bent at 90 degrees. And by the way, like this is, and then lean, but as you come down off that hurdle, this arm has to go back because everything has to go opposite. As you're coming up over the hurdle, right leg forward, left leg back. As you come down off the hurdle, everything switches, right? So the right leg is now going down, but the left leg is coming forward and the right arm is coming forward, the left arm is coming back. So everything should switch, but you're holding your arms both forward. So at this point, this arm should have gone back while this one went forward, okay? So it's throwing off your balance a little bit. Yeah, I mean, you have some potential here, right? I mean, you just figured this out, but let's take it to the next step now, okay? Good job. That was Julian. Last one, Caleb. Caleb tried to get on last week, sent me some videos that wouldn't open up, so he resent these from his phone. High school senior. Feels like he has multiple issues with his trail, his heel, his arm. Struggling between 5 and 3-step. Let's see what happens. But let me try another of your videos. I'm hoping it's going to be obvious who you are, because it's not. Okay, I'm going to guess you're that guy there. Well, no, you could be that guy there. Okay, yes. Unless the person, oh, who fell down. Okay, so let me see if I can find you here. Okay, we're narrowing it down. What? Okay, you got to be one of these two. I don't know if that looks like the guy who I was looking at in the first video, though. Oh my gosh, Caleb. Okay, so you are the guy who wears the headband who fell, I believe, in that first hurdle. Okay, first video. All right, let me look at this one. This is the one that I'm the most confident in. All right, so let me see what your steps are like. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, Caleb. Okay, so you're a high school senior, 5-stepping. I'm hoping this is your first season. Either that or your coach needs to be shot. Okay? I don't like anybody to 5-step. Okay? I think I've said that 3 times in this live stream, but I will recap. 1, running like this is very slow. 2, it puts you too close to the hurdle. 3, jumping this close to the hurdle forces you to go steep on the hurdle, which 4 forces you to be too high over the hurdle. 6, which makes you slow because now you're floating. And then 7, you have to now deal with gravity pulling you down. And then look at that, hitting hurdles, okay? Which I don't know how you managed to do that when you were so high over the hurdle, okay? I wish I could have 1 hour with you live on the track, because you look like you could do it. Okay, so just like I told some other people, I could spend about 15 minutes breaking down little nitpicky things about your arm and your knee and your foot and everything, and it might help you shave 0.2 seconds off of your race time. But I can tell you, we can shave 2 seconds off of your race time just by stopping 5-stepping, okay? So the obvious thing is you either 4-step or you 3-step. If you're gonna 4-step, you're gonna have to go over with both legs. That's the negative, but at least you don't have to take such baby steps, okay? If you can't do that, then, I mean, the better thing would be to 3-step, which I don't know if you're ready for 3-stepping, but just like I told everybody else, I've got a video on my YouTube channel about 4-stepping and another one about 3-stepping. I would study both of those and work on that. But I would not keep doing what you're doing, which is practicing. I'm guessing that you practice with the hurdle space like this, and so you never really improve, because it's like you're going, I know that 5 steps is too small for me, but I can't do 3 steps yet. Well, you're never going to learn unless you get hurdle spacing that works for you, that enables you to 3-step. So you go, okay, now I know what it feels like. Now I'm actually learning how to hurdle. And as you get more proficient at that, then you start spreading out the hurdles more and more as you get faster and faster. Okay? So that's what I recommend doing, bro, because this isn't gonna work. Okay? All right. I hope that helped. I hope some people learn from this. I am going to jump out, see if there are any questions. There's no questions that came to me. It's actually good, because this has already lasted, oh, I don't know, probably more than an hour. Oh no, 57 minutes. Okay, so if you want to learn from me, go to my website at acemethodcoaching.com. You can go to the hurdling section. You can see there that I've got, in fact, let me show it to you. Let me show it to you real quick. Actually, I'm in the right place. I wasn't planning on this. Okay. Come on. Okay. So when you get to the hurdling page, you're going to see this is my mission in life, to help hurdlers and coaches, because there's just not enough good coaches, hurdle coaches at high schools. I've got a couple of free things. I got this awesome video that shows you all the techniques that really good hurdlers do, that'll help you. And then, excuse me, you can send me your video, and I will do exactly what I did here, which is lump it into this live stream and do it so everybody can learn from it. But things that I can do to help you. I got this Hurdling 101, which is a video and a download that you can PDF that'll help you when you go to the track, teach yourself to go from absolute beginner to proficient, just like Campbell, who you saw him win his heat. And then I've got a hurdle training plan for coaches and athletes, and this is pretty awesome. Lots of people have gotten this. I don't even know how many, but it's a lot. And it is a step-by-step plan, like 60 pages of details of all the workouts that you need from the beginning of the season, mid-season, end of season, how to get better and better. If you feel like I can help you, I have a subscription that hurdlers and coaches do, It's a very low monthly price. Right now it is $29 a month here, $49 a month here, where these people are my priority. Every morning when I wake up, first thing I do is I see the videos and the questions that I've gotten from my subscribers, and that's who get my attention. The next bit of energy of mine is work on making more YouTube videos. And then as I field these free questions and videos once or twice a week, I put them in to do these live streams. But this is where the action is. And I feel like if you were to talk to these people, they would tell you they get a lot from it. If you click on either of these, you'll learn a lot. So that's how I can help you. I hope that helped. Again, if you want me to see your video, go to my website, put it in here. You can ask me questions there as well. And real quick, I'm going to jump out one more time, and no questions, so I am going to say goodbye. Coach Ace out. Have a good week, good racing, and I'll talk to you later.